Thank you very much. I'm very happy I'm in Ljubljani. Okay. Thank you, Simona, for the invitation. I'm very happy I'm in this really good exhibition, part of this, and I can do this work in this scale because it was experiment. So thank you, Juren. It was really nice conversation during preparation, also between, and I think I have new friends. So, what we have here, we don't have work anymore. Or we have work, but it's very different than now. So this is how it was maybe first 1 hour. So, and then already one felt before I finish. So this is the only image I have when all plates are on. And I'm here to, I'd like to show you 5 works to explain why I did this. So let's do it. I work as an artist from '93, and I have already more than 60 different projects, very different. Some are videos, some are more complex, but I choose 5. And here it is first. It's called Goveji Goulash, and it's from '97. It's beef goulash. I made it with Dejan Habicht in '97, so and here I have short text and then I will tell you something about this. After finishing study of architecture in '93, I was making more or less useful objects as screens, tables, chairs, bowls, and handbags. In '97, I decided to make the last object, the handbag made out of Goveji Goulash tins. One of the reasons was that it was the only can you can buy with when the image is printed on the can, because usually they put just the paper. But I also like it because it looks very pop. It's with this cow. It looks like Andy Warhol somehow. So it's very pop, and I choose this can and make bag. And that was me in '97, and it's written, I'm also an architect in present. And this is, so in this summer, Dan and I went traveling to museums and galleries in Berlin, Kassel, Münster, Amsterdam, and Venice. It was very good year. It was Documenta, and it was sculpture museum in Münster. And here you can see me with Marco Pelhan, and I was there with this bag. And my questions are, what is art? When the objects become the art object? Is useful object can be an art object? Is the art everything exhibited in a museum or a gallery? Does my bag art object if I show it in the museum and have a documentation of it? And now the 3 most important questions. What is art system? How the art system function? And how to be part of art system? Because if you are, you can do whatever, but if you are not in art system, actually it's not art. I'm very sorry to tell you this. I hope you know. So we exhibited documentary material from our travels. They stick in the photographs on the wall and display the bag in a glass case. So it was just the opposite. Useful object was in a glass case. I don't like these glass cases from '97. They couldn't find better. It's Kutz. Yeah? And then in 2009, it's much better. But it's the same object. It's in a glass case, and the photographs are on the wall. They are not framed. They try to be different. Because if you have, if you put in a frame, if you put in a gallery, all these can become an art. Yeah. Or we start questioning about this. Is it art or is it not? That's the beginning. So this is this. yeah, I'm sorry. Let's go back. It's 9 swimming pools behind broken glass from 2010. The private swimming pools are status symbol and culture icon is the central element of Ed Rocher artist books. 9 swimming pools and the broken glass, published in 1968. I found some, this is postcard. This is Dolenske Toplice in 1962. And I can look here. So what I did, I scanned it, I make a print, put in a frame, and then smash the glass. So with a hammer. On the left side, on the left side you can see me smashing. It's a video still from smashing the glass, and then I tape it. And I like because at the end, this tape looks like a spider net, so it's something left behind. And these Ed Rocher swimming pools I told you before from '68, and they're private and they're empty. And on the right side you will see the book. So his title was Under Broken Glass, and mine was Behind Broken Glass. I found photos of bathers in swimming pools in some old Yugoslav Jewish brochures. They were taken at more or less the same time Russia took his photograph of swimming pools. The Los Angeles pools were in the yard of luxury homes, private and empty. The Yugoslav pools were the exact opposite. So this is Moderni Gallery, yeah. 9 swimming pools, and the end it was U3 exhibition, and they exhibit together with Ed Rocher book. It was in a glass case at the end. And you can see 9. That's how I choose the number, 9 swimming pools, and this is Schultz, 9 swimming pools. And here on Kran, I told you something to do with Kran, and then Dolenske Toplice, 60, 70, same age, but different swimming pools. And this, the right side is my swimming pool, Šmarješke Toplice, if it's my childhood. So, and we have one Croatian swimming pool, and then we have Belgrade and also some Croatian. And then it was I was in a residency in Israel, and I made 6 swimming pools, so the other number, which is just 9 and 6. And the story is quite similar. So compilation of swimming pools, I don't like, so it's a postcards. Postcards, I found quite a lot of postcards of swimming pools in Israel, and this, and this, I framed it again, so it's similar. Compilation of swimming pools was gathered from old postcards from kibbutz. I scanned postcards, reprint them and frame them, then shattered them with a hammer and reconstruct them with tape. Russia's broken glass, a formalistic act, adding to the impact of West Coast fancy and abandoned pools, is transported to different image. The broken glass, providing the same effect as the swimming pool's photographs, becomes a screen through which we view Israel at the point between socialist market forces and the capitalist economy. So these are swimming pools from the 70s, and it was a very different Israel than what we can see now. And so they stayed behind spider net, all these images. And here also I made a book, but it was not really a book. I used a book, one Hebrew book, and then put six images inside. Oh, sorry, just here. So here, there are again images from still video. And it's quite crazy that in Israel, where it's almost desert there, that people they build these swimming pools because they are migrants from Eastern Europe, and the idea of swimming pools was very different for them than people, than Palestinians. So, is it this? Yeah, you can see it's desert, and to build swimming pool, it's quite funny. Very different country than it used to be. And that is how it was exhibited in Holon. It's next, it's a small place close to Tel Aviv. The strawberries from 2001. From April to June, I was artist in residence in Vienna. I wrote a postcard to my mother every day. I wrote what I ate, and even through the cards were for her, I never sent them. Have you eaten? How are you? Mother usually asked, but not mine. So it was a relation with mothers, complex relation. It's always complex, yeah. But I try to understand what happened in our relation. And in these 3 months, I was writing all these postcards, and this studio. It was one open day, and I showed them like this. And you see, I was in Vienna, and there is one couch. Couch is very important part. And then on the other side, so people can read what's there. So it's an image from Vienna, and then some text. But what happened? It happened, I have arrived in Vienna pregnant. Later on, I had a miscarriage. The work is dedicated to my never-born child I called Strawberry, because I was eating a lot of strawberries. And actually, it's not dedicated to, I was thinking about it's not dedicated to unborn child, but to my mother. You know? And my role as a mother, not. But when you see the postcard with this menu, you cannot understand what's going on, that it's just a menu. So then I decide, after these 3 months, to make a work to show what happened. Because these menus are documentation of body transformation. My body was changing, my food habit changed. So it's a document about this. And then I make an internet project, and it's still online, and you can click, and you can see this as a pattern, these words, this food, but with red you can read what happened. So this is, it was designed like this, and then Mother Teresa, Kaiser wanted. Okay. And miscarriage, yeah, the day of miscarriage, I almost died, but it was not good. But I don't want to put an emotion in this. It was just text. It was so strong experience for me. I didn't want to fill it with all this emotion. It was already a scar. And then I decided to make a book, and this book is also a scar, because losing a child is a scar. So I cut every page, and it's a book, and also the cover, and tape it, and this red tape, this red thread, it's connected with miscarriage, yeah. And then in 2016, I make a work, because before it was almost 15 years, and all postcards are in a box, and then I make put every postcards in their own frame and write this on a glass. On a glass. And with red, it's a text, what happened. So you can read what happened to. And it happened that one glass was break. And I decided to keep it, because I could change the glass. But I said, no, okay. Failure, I like failures, I like something's wrong. This is the work from 2001. It's video. I never show it as a video, or just sometimes I keep them in a presentation. But it's a part of this. It's somehow connected with plates. That's why I to include. So I'm reading. It's called calendar, and it's for 2001, and I'm reading dates. Like January 1st, Monday, 2nd, Tuesday, and so on, in Slovenia. And I'm reading this and cut my dress away. And so here, and put all these pieces on the floor. At the end, after one year, all days, you can see me reading. It was before, you can see because it was a lot of papers all around, and I was reading, and they cut my. And then at the end, I don't have the last picture. So I was naked at the end, but I will not show you. Sky above me, Shanghai. Again, it's a residency. It's a very beautiful residency in one beautiful hotel with this view in Shanghai. But I was very, very lonely. So I take photographs of the night sky. So there you can see people down there, and this is the image. If you're there, it's like this. It's night. Shanghai, a lot of people, and people arrive here to see all these lights. I take a photograph of the night sky every day, and often this is the last thing I do that day. I then cut off the photographs into a circle and make some kind of a black hole, like this. The outline of clouds are visible on the photographs, but still they are just various shades of black with fewer or more with white dots, fewer or more white dots if the sky is clear, or one large dot if the moon enters the frame. Yet the night is not nothing. I see the night sky as an image of subconsciousness. Nighttime is the other, unknown, and dark part of the day. And taking a nightly photograph of the sky is my ritual. At those times, only the sky is about me. I took my first photographs of the night sky on 18 June 2015, while I was at the residency in the Swatch Art Piece Hotel. There, I printed 12 skies together and created an artwork, 12 nights. For this, okay, doesn't matter. So these are night skies. Now I have 84 night skies. I show them, I print them 4, and they left in China. I won award, and they keep the work, but they pay me for this. That's good work. They could have it. They have a lot here. Yeah, that's how, no, you can't see. That's how it was. It was printed like this on plexi, very shiny, quite small. And here are some papers. That's how it was exhibited. I showed the same work at 8th Triennial of Contemporary Art in Ljubljana, but printed on paper. Every night on the old paper are displayed at the table. Visitors are invited to touch them, but not to take them. And this white is video I have here. I'd like to show you at the end. And here are these nights. And people were looking through these and tried to find usually their birthday. But some people also try to find some other nice, special nights for them. Some people also take some photos of these. And then it was so nice to go out before. Usually before I went to sleep, I went out and take a picture, look at the sky. And you know, during the day you can't see. You can see the clouds, but in the night you can see stars. And I think that in the night you can see that you are part of something else. Because during the day, your view is blocked, you can't see. And it was really nice. It's contemplation. Went out, take a picture, went there. And then, then I said to myself, I have to finish this, because it was nice, but still I have to finish. And I was looking for a number. I'm obsessed with numbers. And I would say, okay, 1001 nights. Because it's a story about Scheherazade who survived because she was telling stories. So it's a good story. So, and then I put this date, 18 June, and I say 1001 night, and discover it's 14 March. And it's very good because it's my birthday. So it was last year. So last year I stopped doing this. That's why I have 84. And I have 1001 images. They're all in my computer. I hope one day I find a place to show them. So I'm here to tell you what will be with the plates. When I put them on the wall, it was for me like give them a life and left them, because we didn't know. We hoped it would stay longer on the wall, but they felt in 3 days, almost in 3 days. But they have their own life. Even on the floor, they have their own life. They are collecting dust, and people watching them. I don't know what they're... I'm very happy that it's not in my city, because otherwise I will come to see them. Yeah? What happened? Because they are living somehow. So now at the end, they have to die. Yeah? I ask you, you agreed to send me all this, and I hope a lot of museum dust will be there, and all this tape and all this, and then I put this in a box, like a coffin. So this will be the end of this object. So the object, or the beginning to being a museum object. Yeah. Now it's living, and it will be. And then I'd like to do also something with this photo, but I have some ideas that I have to try. This is video. I don't know if I have. How can I show this video? It's they.
Is this one? I think so.
Yes. Shanghai in the morning I think from 5 to 7 it's allowed to kite, yeah. And then there are so many people, it's not allowed. So every morning it's crazy there. And then I found out this star, and it's written the number, and I think 81, and 81 means Chinese army. It's Chinese army. It's nothing. It's not. But okay.